My name is Ronnie Green, and I have the pleasure of serving in what I think is the greatest job in the world. I get the opportunity every day to work to lead our agriculture and natural resource programs at the University of Nebraska, and have the opportunity to work across the state and across all of our campuses in the University of Nebraska system. It's my pleasure tonight to welcome you here to Lincoln. For those of you that are joining us from outside of the greater Lincoln area, both to a lot of Nebraskans. There are, I think, about 300 Nebraskans who will be with us for the conference the next couple of days from across the state, in communities, from across our university system, and it's great to see that. We also have visitors joining us from 22 different states around the United States, and we welcome you and hope that you'll enjoy your time here in Nebraska with us as part of the conference. Now, I'm guessing that there is a fair share of you who were here a year and a half ago and were part of what was our inaugural Rural Futures Conference in May of 2012. And you'll remember at that time that we were really contemplating hard the idea of a new institute across the University of Nebraska system that we were calling and thinking about the name of being the Rural Futures Institute. Remember that? Everybody kind of remember the discussion? And we asked our participants in that conference a lot of questions around relevance of that idea, about the need for that idea, about what the university could bring as a great university system and a land-grant university as part of that system to the table to address this issue called rural and rural sustainability and rural future of the landscape that we call rural. Now, one of the things that came out to me in that conference and has come out routinely since is that rural means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Because in the greater context, I would wager to you that rural really includes about everything, including urban, including the urban-rural interface, and including the landscape that is not only here in the U.S. that many of us are most concerned about, but around the world. This is an issue of importance in a lot of different ways. The U.S. Census tells us that 46 million Americans live in what are defined by the U.S. Census Bureau as rural counties. That's about 15% of the U.S. population. But those counties, doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out, make up almost 3/4 of the landmass of the U.S. And as a person who grew up in a rural county, not too far from where our visitor spent a lot of his life tonight, Thomas Jefferson in Virginia. I grew up in a rural county in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. And that, to me, says that the rural issue is no different than it's been long-term, is that we have land to care for, we have land to plan for, we have resources around that land base that are important, that we're entrusting to future generations. And how we do that sustainably long-term with people and with good people, not just in agriculture, but even more broad than agriculture, is a critical thing for our future. That's why we were here a year and a half ago. And what we learned from the conference was that this was a big goal. It was an audacious goal. It was something that was maybe bigger than all of us in a way to talk about rural sustainability, but that we should be doing it, and that we should be investing in it in new ways and different ways. And you see a lot of the words associated with that in your program and behind me tonight, in the way that the Rural Futures Institute has been formed. A lot's happened in that year and a half. We've gotten off to a great start. You're going to learn a lot about that in the next few days as part of the conference and some of the activities that have happened. Not the least of which is you're going to get to meet our new executive director, who will begin December 1st as part of the Rural Futures Institute. So I'm going to use an analogy tonight, and I hope it will resonate with you. It's a pretty recent one. You know, we had a little football game down the street here yesterday. And probably many of you, a fair number of you were probably there, and you kind of know what happened at the end, right? So in that last minute of the game, less than minute of the game, you had this challenge of a team that was going up a hill that looked almost impossible. Everybody agree with that? I was sitting there thinking, I know what the next week's going to be like. Oh my God, okay? As was every administrator at the University of Nebraska. So we all know what happened. There was this kind of miracle play that happened where this rookie quarterback throws up a Hail Mary pass in the last few seconds of the game. It gets tipped up by the opposing team, and it gets caught by a freshman from Illinois. And he caught that ball after it had been tipped. Now, my analogy here is, I feel like that ball has been tipped up for us. It's been tipped up for us to catch. It's been tipped up for us to do something with as part of this new opportunity that we have. So I hope the next few days, as you're here and you're networking as partners, whether you're partners with the university, whether you're part of the university system, whether you're part of a community, whether you're young people, we have a significant number of young people who are going to be here the next 2 days. I hope you will catch that ball and that you'll be part of figuring out these solutions that are so important for the future of this country, for the future of the world, because of that landscape that we have to maintain. Does that make sense to everybody? That's our goal, and I hope you'll take opportunity to do that. You see that the symposium, the conference, has this theme of beyond boundaries. That says something about hope, that says something about stepping over a line, as the images on the stage show. It means there are boundaries that we have to break down in order to do that, and we have to be willing to take those risks. So take those risks. Be part of that. You wouldn't be here if you didn't believe in that, and we appreciate that being part of your motivation and why you will participate with us in the Institute.